So what brings y'all here to Alabama?
Time for a change.
I want you to meet our new neighbors.
Abby.
Lucas.
I could be a pretty good friend.
Who's Bunny?
Leave him alone.
No squat.
Hello and welcome to the latest Screen One interview. And today I am joined by the star of one of the films we watched recently, which we can say was nothing short of spectacular, Ava Cantrell, who is the star of Abigail. Welcome. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for talking with me. I'm so excited to talk with you about Abigail, and I think it's going to be super fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, so tell us about Abigail, tell us about your character, and tell us, what you can without spoiling anything for everybody.
Right. Okay. So no spoiler. Plot point of Abigail is a twisted teen love story, thriller set in the 70s, and it's a really wild ride. It's a really fun movie. Very kind of slasherish, I would say. And Abigail, the character I play, is a young girl who is definitely on the crazy side and doesn't really experience emotions like a normal, like a you or I probably would. That's what made her hard to play, is that she doesn't really have empathy. Everything is an angle. Everything is some kind of manipulation. And yeah, I think it's a really fun movie.
Yeah. When she expresses herself, she really expresses herself.
Doesn't she?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so tell us, how did you come to, be on the project, other than obviously you got sent a script, but tell us more about that.
Yeah, so I was familiar with the writer beforehand. He was familiar with my work, but I did send in audition tapes with the scenes that I did, and it took a while from the time that I booked the part to film the movie, because it was, right in this middle of the pandemic, and that was in between that. So by the time that we got to film it, it was so exciting. And yeah, it was kind of as people were not just starting to get back to work, but kind of back in the swing of things. So that's what that very early process was like.
So is it more challenging, as you're saying, you're coming back from the pandemic, and there were various structures and stuff in place during the pandemic, and then moving back into kind of like, oh, we don't need to worry about that so much.
Yeah, right. Like, oh gosh, here we go again. Yeah, we're like back in business for sure. And it was at the point where we were kind of out of the woods, so we weren't like smack in the middle of like filming like some projects were, where there was a lot of regulations. We were kind of coming out of that. So, but it was also like, we had been kind of, everybody who was on the project was really excited to be part of it, because we were all kind of a little bit not getting to work on the stuff that we wanted to. So getting to do it again was so fun.
So this was your first real proper starring role, sort of head on. You are the main car. Was that much pressure for you? Was it something you worked towards? Was it, is this all in a part of a larger plan?
I feel like my career involved a lot of stepping stones, and I'm really grateful for that, because I started when I was 7 or 8, and it was on small projects like commercials or short films or student films. Mm-hmm. And by the time I filmed Abigail, I felt very like ready and prepared, and not like a fish out of water, when I had gotten like a big script, and I was filming like many scenes a day. So I feel like I was ready for that experience, and it came at a good time, and I'm just so grateful for it, because doing a role like Abigail that's very challenging as an actor, and getting to lead a movie it's kind of like the dream scenario. We're all just kind of waiting and auditioning and hoping for something amazing like that to happen. So it was amazing.
Yeah. So you just mentioned about challenges. Aside from, playing the lead part, what other challenges were there with the physicality of the role and all that kind of stuff? Do you want to expand on that bit?
Yeah, for sure. So with Abigail, like the biggest challenge as an actor was how I approach characters is through intention. So I want to always understand in a scene where their intention lies just throughout the whole movie. What's their main goals? How do they interact with people, so that if there was a new scene or somebody gave me a line I didn't expect, then I would know what to do through my intuition of the character. It wouldn't be a challenge to be able to predict how they feel. And with Abigail, she's just so different than me. Um,
Good to
you
know.
know, just crazy. Yeah. She doesn't really have empathy. So trying to tap into her and understand her was very difficult. It was very difficult. And that was, I mean, she's so cunning, and she's so malicious that it's just, when it's so different from yourself, it's harder to tap into that intuition. And then the other thing that was hard about it is the place that the film takes place is 70s Alabama in the summer. And we did 2 weeks straight of night shoots in Northern California in the spring. So the nights were super cold. And I was dressed in summer clothes, and we were just kind of walking around at night in like these really cool locations outside. So it was a lot of that, and it was pretty fun. It was very adventurous, but it was also just so darn cold.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. So, as somebody who lived through the 70s, I don't know where all these cool clothes come from, because my recollection of the 70s, it was all corduroy trousers in purple and things like that.
Yeah.
It was cool. So, yeah, not cool. So, I like the fact that, you kind of gloss over the fact that we all wore horrendous clothes. But yeah, no, it's very good. So, did you learn new skills like, chopping people up, and well, not chopping people, but all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, we did some stunt work, and it was not super unfamiliar to me, since I was a dancer for a long time, so the physicality of it was not too out of my element. But we had like a really good stunt director and stunt coordinator, and the choreography of it was, I think, really good, and it was really fun to do that. And since then I've started doing martial arts. I started doing Muay Thai.
Excellent.
And I do wish I started before Abigail, because I feel like it would have made it even easier and come super naturally. But yeah, that was fun. I really like to do that more in the future, do more stunt work.
So, talking about that, so what is in your future? I mean, obviously the film's been extremely, as well by us, but it's been extremely well received by everybody who's reviewed it so far. I don't think I've actually seen anybody say anything negative about it so far. So, which is great,
Yeah.
because it is a great movie. So has it started opening doors for you? Have you started seeing, more sort of opportunities coming from it?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now it's such a weird time, because we're right out of the strike, and
Oh yes,
really all I'm focusing on is like, let's just try to get through this. So yeah, I have a really cool project lined up with like a zombie horror movie, kind of very survivalist, and I'm excited about that. And I'm also just like, trying to like expand my horizons. I really like, as far as roles go, I'd love to do leading roles in a wide range of genres. I mean, who doesn't want to do that? But I love horror. I could definitely stick to horror, but I'd also like to try other things for sure too.
Yeah, you don't want to pigeonhole yourself, because quite clearly there's talent there that we need to see across, like you say, across every genre. So definitely want to see some more of that. But the zombie film sounds great. So are you one of the leads in that, or?
Yes, that one's a really interesting one, because kind of the concept of that is she's really by herself. She's surviving by herself. So it would be a lot of scenes with just me. And with Abigail, I had really great scene partners, just all around. Every single one of my castmates were so phenomenal. And Trent, who plays Lucas, was such a great scene partner. Like, we just bounced off each other really well. So yeah, it's like, yes, that would be super fun, but I also love having good scene partners.
So sort of expand on that a bit. You were saying about, we've talked about the physicality of the role, and you were saying she's actually quite emotionless, but actually you switch from emotions. So there's a particular scene at the end, which, without spoiling too much, there has been some people who may have died in less than suspicious circumstances, shall we say, and you are talking to law enforcement, and you just switch into this, devastated.
No,
Yeah,
I'm so
exactly.
scared.
It's it's such a stark switch as well. Was that quite hard to do? Because I'm sure you didn't get it in one take. So
That was it. That was actually probably some of the fewest. That one scene was like some of the fewest takes that we've ever done. I think we only did 2 takes, and
oh,
the
okay.
first one is because I spun the phone wrong. Like,
Oh, okay.
that old phone. I don't even know what it's called.
Don't say old phone. I used to have one. Don't say old.
I know, I feel so mean, but I picked up the phone and then I spun it.
Yeah.
And so that was the only reason that we actually did 2 takes, just because it was at the very, very end of the night. But yeah, so like the switching personalities, it's like my emotions don't switch that fast. That's just so jarring. But with Abigail, they're just the emotions are so put on. There's just the angles coming from whoever she's talking to. It's an angle. It's a new position of manipulation, and to bounce back and forth was challenging, but it was also probably the most fun part. And I wanted to make some of her personalities that were, especially the ones that are like the bouncy, cute, fun girl, I wanted there to be a little bit of off-puttingness to her. Like, I wanted it to be kind of off-putting. Like, yeah, this girl's cute and fun, but there's something a little weird about her. And then when you see the true Abigail, she's so cold and dry. And it was fun to switch back and forth through the scenes. And like, just depending on the scene partner, like, who is she talking to?
Yeah.
Who is she to be?
Yeah, and just make sure you're in the right switch at the right time. So the film is quite open-ended to a degree, which could leave road for a sequel. So is it a film you'd like to come back to, and B, is there the potential for a sequel?
Yeah, I mean, it was left open-ended, so I think that totally leaves the potential for it, and I would absolutely love to. I think all of my castmates would also be really excited to return to our roles.
The ones who survive, yeah.
Yeah, the ones who survive.
Yeah.
No spoilers who that would be, but yeah, and they're kind of, I love how it ends, just like without spoilers. It's just like, to Abigail, the way it ends is like, what a fun little adventure I just had. I can't wait for the next one.
Exactly. So in your mind, what would be Abigail's next adventure? Would it still be in the 70s, or would it move on a little while, maybe into the beginning of the 80s, or what would you like to explore with Abigail?
Yeah, okay. So like, without trying to say too much, that's
be careful. Yeah.
I know, I will. I really like the way that me and Tren, who plays Lucas, have this power dynamic of, we're both trying to be the one in control, and Abigail is the one used to being in control. And I see Lucas as one of the only, maybe not if only the only redeemable character.
Yeah.
Abigail's not redeemable. She's certainly maybe interesting, but not somebody you'd actually root for when it really comes down to it. So I would really like to explore that power struggle between them of, Lucas is kind of going along for the ride for, this movie, and what does he do? What does he do in the future? Does Abigail just take it too far, or does Lucas just join in full force?
Yeah, sounds interesting, doesn't it? It's definitely a great role, for sure. It's definitely a great role. You also get to shoot guns as well. So yeah, how was that?
I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Oh, sorry, I said, and you also get to shoot guns. So well. So how was that?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that was so fun. We had a great armor on set, Francis, and he supplied all of those like a authentic 70s looking rifles and stuff, and he he actually had the really cool idea of me doing the Sarah O'Connor
Yeah.
that you do where you drop it and you
Yeah.
that was probably my coolest moment ever. I don't know if I'll ever
So
be able
far.
to recreate
So far, not ever.
so far. Right, so far. Yeah, so that was really fun. Definitely something I've never done before. So yeah, it was really cool to do that. I mean, really, especially that one moment for me. That was a big moment. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, I'm beginning to get a bit of a vibe here. Maybe you're not that far removed from Abigail after all. You like your guns, you like your violence, you're getting into Muay Thai,
No,
beat people up a bit better, you know.
I like them unloaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's excellent. So you've mentioned the zombie film, but so what else? Have you got anything else current coming up at all, or you're currently in that anybody can check you out in other than Abigail, which will be put down here for everybody?
Past project other than Abigail, you can catch me in another horror movie, which is Lights Out. I play Teen Diana and the voice of Diana. And yeah, I was on Young Sheldon recently, so I'm gonna go back, and I was recurring on those episodes. But as far as future projects, I'm like, you know, I have a couple things lined up, and I'm also just really enjoying like the future of what the auditions and stuff like that. Like that's just such a big part of being an actor, is like, let's see what kind of projects are going to get to come in. And, you know, there was definitely, you know, with the strike, a lot of time of not doing that. So it's a good part of the process.
Yeah. So how did you feel your time during the strike, unless you were striking? I mean, how did you, because obviously that's for, you know, a lot of actors, that's probably been actually quite hard because you haven't been working. So
yeah, it honestly wasn't that bad, just because I'm a college student, and I was like, well, you know, we got to do what we got to do, so I'll be okay. I, you know, just did my classes and waited, and
and it's all come out perfectly.
Went on the picket lines maybe once.
So how do your friends at college see you? Have they seen Abigail yet, or are they waiting to see it?
Oh gosh, no, I don't tell anybody about it.
I think they may notice.
No one needs to know. No one recognizes anything. So yeah, I just like to. Yeah, I mean, it's also like work too. I like to kind of keep it like, this is work. I have my hobbies. I have my job, and when I look at it more like a job, I treat it a little bit better. I treat it more professionally. So I think it's good to. You take so much rejection too as an actor, so you have to like not take it too personally, and let it only get personal when you get the role. So that's how I work.
So no one in your class knows about this, or
not as far as I know. No.
Really? Wow, that's crazy.
It's just so awkward. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, just tell.
It's just, hey, I just appeared in a film. I murder people, so don't annoy me. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. Why not? Yeah. Surely that's the thing, because you've done some TV appearances as well, obviously promoting the film. So surely they've seen that, haven't they? Or they're just not saying it. This is crazy. I think this is really, we need to find out if any of your friends are watching this. We need to know in the comments that you actually know. I think we need to know this, because I find this quite shocking that nobody in your class knows that you're starring in an absolutely amazing movie.
I do take a lot of online classes too.
Okay, right. Well, even so,
maybe that. Yeah.
Even so, they need to know. We need to get this out there. Yeah, there's a project. Anyway, that has been wonderful. Our time has run out, so thank you very much, Ava. Everybody, make sure you watch Abigail. I will put all the links down here. It's available online on VOD and all the kind of places that you will find it. Make sure you watch it, because it is absolutely stunning. Check out the review at Screen One, which is also going to be put in the comments. And we will see you all very soon. So all it is, and it says thank you very much, Ava, for joining us on the Screen One interview.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciated it. And I'm so flattered all the things you said about the movie. So thank you.
Easiest review I've written in a long while. That's all I can say. So yeah. Anyway, so no worries. So everybody, we will see you soon.
Something has to be done, Abby.
Get your hands up! I will shoot!